Hello, city makers. I'm speaking live from my balcony in Essen. I am Noémie Koenig. I finished my bachelor's of social science, and I am now working as a student researcher at the Institute for Mobility and Urban Planning at the University of Duisburg-Essen, and waiting for the winter semester to start another bachelor's program in civil engineering, therefore my interest in city planning. I also have ties with China, more especially with Wuhan, which is why the corona crisis has been very important in my life early on. And I'm here to talk about my personal evaluation of the corona crisis, especially on city planning, like its impact on city planning. First of all, the question was the question of the positive impacts the coronavirus might have had. And I would say one of the most positive impacts I have seen was on the reappropriation of public space as much as of like bike lanes. So a change in the mindset of mobility. I think we all are familiar with the concept of pop-up bike lanes, but even like in my surroundings here in Essen, I've seen how people have been using parks and playgrounds in way more intense manner to live their life and have a good time outside. When it comes to negative impacts, I would say that we can see that a lot of cities are not designed to, it's a little noisy, to include their citizens. So they're leaving a lot of people behind. And I think when it comes to vulnerability of certain communities, first when it comes to, for example, homeschooling, do the parents have the resources to teach their children which professions? Do the parents are they gonna be able to provide their children with daycare? Are they gonna be able to provide their children with the education the children would need? So on this like leave no one behind logic, as well as on the vulnerability of, for example, women in abusive relationships. And I think this is something where city planning has to consider that in times of crises, these things are even more important than they are at normal times. My favorite place during the corona lockdown has been the park, because it was a way of sharing my time and my space with other people while still staying safe. When it comes to learning for better and for worse, so I think, as I said, I'm a little focused on mobility in general. So I would say we have seen with the commute going down, like commute rates going down because of home office, that when we provided safe space for pedestrians and people on their bikes, people would actually take that space and use it for the benefits, as like bike sales have peaked, and you can see it in many different ways. And some cities have used it as an advantage, and others have not grasped that potential yet. However, I would say that's a very big potential. I think, we also learned that city planning has to be designed for crises, because they can happen, and especially in this logic of leaving no one behind, that's incredibly important to integrate that in urban design and urban planning. And I think the digital potential that we have not used fully in the least in the past years, even though it was there, I think we all learned, because we had to, how to be able to share through digital platforms, and therefore going back to mobility, making it actually possible that we might have less commute in the future. Yes. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak, and bye.